Hey
Guys,
guys,
like
how
this
you all doing? Welcome
deportation
back again to another
issue
episode.
is
Thank
no
you so
longer
much for
friendly.
clicking when you saw
It's no
this
longer
video.
friendly at
So
all
guys,
because
check this video
the
compilation which I
ICE
was able to
everywhere. The
gather for
eyes,
you
they
guys.
are
Let me know what are
everywhere.
your thoughts. What do
They
you
are
think about them in
everywhere.
the comment
They
section
are
below. Don't
everywhere
forget to give
because
it a
they
like
have been
and
authorized
subscribe to my
to go
channel in
to
case you haven't
anywhere
done that. So
to rape
guys, let's
people.
get right
And
into
this
it.
has made
Elon Musk is the apex white predator. He is not a genius, not a visionary, and not self-made. He is the ultimate white mediocrity worshipped by white men who need a messiah to convince themselves that white male dominance is not crumbling. Newsflash, it is. In reality, Musk is a government-funded welfare queen, a serial scam artist, and an overhyped, incompetent tech bro who continues to fail upwards because white billionaires, investors, and media refuse to let him die. If Musk were any other race, he would have been laughed out of Silicon Valley years ago. Instead, he's held up as the greatest mind of our time. Not because anything he's actually achieved, but because white people are desperate to believe the future still belongs to them. Musk did not create Tesla. Tesla was founded in 2003 by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Musk swooped in with the money, forced himself into leadership, and then erased the real founders from history. Tesla's actual engineers create its technology. Musk just takes credit for it. Musk did not create SpaceX's rocket tech. Everything SpaceX does is built on decades-old NASA and Soviet research. The actual SpaceX engineers do all of the work. Musk just plays visionary for the cameras. SpaceX survives off billions in US government contracts. Musk isn't a self-made space pioneer. He's a government-subsidized middleman. Musk's only real invention? Hype and bullshit. Every single idea he pushes is either a recycled, stolen idea from someone else, a fake, unworkable scam designed to hype up stock prices, or a half-finished, legally questionable death trap that never actually works. Hyperloop? A nonsense distraction meant to kill high-speed rail. Neuralink? A dystopian tech bro fantasy that killed monkeys in horrifying ways. Tesla Autopilot? A glitchy, deadly mess that's already killed people. Musk's entire reputation is built on one thing: white people's belief that a white, rich man must be a genius. Musk loves to scream about socialism and big government, but the truth is, he would be nothing without government funding. Tesla only survived because the government gave it a $465 million loan. SpaceX exists because of billions in Pentagon and NASA contracts. Musk's businesses get massive tax breaks, subsidies, and grants, meaning the government funds his so-called success. Musk hates government help, unless it's going directly into his pocket. He whines about welfare, but sucks up taxpayer dollars like a vampire. He attacks union workers while using government funding to avoid paying fair wages. He pretends to be an independent thinker, but relies entirely on state contracts to stay relevant. This is white capitalist hypocrisy at its peak. Steal everything from the public and then pretend like you built it yourself. Tesla is a mess. Cars catch fire, doors break off, software malfunctions constantly. Tesla is years behind on production targets, but Elon keeps lying about new breakthroughs. Autopilot crashes keep killing people, but Musk still sells it as nearly perfect. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Are you kidding me? Musk paid $44 billion for a company worth half that. He fired the best engineers and replaced them with his yes men. He destroyed ad revenue, brought back Nazis, and turned Twitter into an unusable hellscape. The Boring Company? A total joke. His tunnel revolution is literally just a smaller tunnel with traffic jams. The Las Vegas tunnel is slower than walking. Every city that bought into his scam has nothing to show for it. SpaceX, running on fraud. Most of its innovations are just flashy PR stunts. Delayed projects, failed test launches, and government money keeping it alive. Musk promises Mars colonization, but can't even land a contract to send people to the moon. If Musk were anyone else, he would be considered a disaster CEO whose companies are collapsing under his stupidity. But because he's a rich white man with a god complex, the media still props him up as a genius. Musk is not self-made. He's not smart. He's just a spoiled white billionaire who was handed his success. He was born into apartheid wealth. His family was rich off South African emerald mining, meaning he never had to struggle. His father literally owned an emerald mine, so Elon was never self-made. Every time he fails, white media protects him. When Tesla is in crisis, they call it growing pains. When Twitter crashes, they say he's revolutionizing social media. When his companies bleed money, they say he's playing the long game. Musk is a perfect example of white privilege shielding an incompetent fraud. White tech bros worship him because he is their last hope. They need to believe a white man is still the future. They need him to be a genius, because if he's not, then white men aren't the most powerful people in tech anymore. Musk's cult ignores reality. They pretend his endless failures don't exist. They attack anyone who criticizes him. They believe in his absurd sci-fi promises, no matter how many times he's lied. Musk's fanboys will literally destroy their own lives to defend him. They buy overpriced, malfunctioning Teslas. They invest in his scams, then lose their savings. They waste their time hyping up his projects, only to be left with nothing. Elon Musk is not a genius. He's a fraud, a parasite, and a white savior myth that exists to prop up a dying empire. Elon Musk is not the future. He's a symbol of white desperation, an incompetent, overhyped, failing billionaire whose entire existence proves that white dominance is crumbling. He is the last sad illusion of white technological superiority. And just like everything he touches, that illusion is falling apart. Cope.
I was right. Trump is getting played and isolated. And yesterday I said that Zelensky was, I think, playing Trump and baiting him out to go to a ridiculous position and isolate him further. And that seems to be what's playing out now. But the question is, who's playing Trump? Answer, absolutely everyone. And Trump is looking extremely manipulable and soft-minded for it. First of all, Elon Musk played Trump to get into power, to get his Doge set up in the Oval Office, bring in his son. He's just been playing Trump from the start. And then, of course, Canada and Mexico completely played Trump. Trump tried to strong-arm them with tariff threats to do this and that, and then they just offered to him what they were doing already. He thought he had made a deal, said yes, and then looked like a fool. Netanyahu's played him all the way through and got him to back him on ethnic cleansing. But to be fair, Netanyahu was playing Biden as well before. But then, of course, Russia played Trump like an absolute fiddle, whereby they overdid it and Trump just sounds like a Kremlin bot. He's got nothing but the Russian script. And then this put Zelensky in a position where he's got nothing to work with, so he might as well call him out and see if he snaps back, which he did. And now Trump is utterly isolated. And as I said in my video yesterday, the effects that it has when Trump outright attacks Zelensky are manifold. One is it means that this notion of him being a peace broker is absolutely gone, and that's untenable on the world stage. The other one is that there are lots of people in the GOP that don't support an anti-Ukraine position, and so of course you're having noises going on there from Mike Pence and other Republican figureheads starting to push back there. But then also in terms of Trump's relations with the rest of the world. Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, has already said that is absolutely wrong. Trump is absolutely wrong to say that about Zelensky. But it's not just Starmer. Our right-wing press, the Daily Mail, the Express, all totally thumping Trump this morning, which means that Nigel Farage, leader of Reform UK, is in a real pickle about what he is going to say or not say about Trump. We understand that he was meant to go off to some kind of Trump bash this weekend. What's he going to do now? When, and I've said this before, 3% of the UK population, by a poll just done by YouGov, agree with the sentiment that Ukraine started this war or was majorly responsible for this war. You know, it is embarrassing for Farage and for a lot of Reform UK voters. And it will be interesting also to see how this plays out with AFD, because Trump and Vance and Musk were so invested in AFD. So if they start getting isolated from the xenophobic populists of Europe, then their power really wanes there as well. So, and I think with Trump, everyone can see that in global dealings, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And if you can just get close to him with rubbish to pour into his ear, he will drink it in and regurgitate it, which makes America look very weak. And that's the major that's the major key message here. The key take-home message is that Trump looks weak on the world stage because it doesn't look like he's got his own mind that comes from any kind of point of principle. It seems random, it seems highly influenceable, it seems kind of like mushy and easily to manipulate. And you got to think the lawmakers in the states and I guess the public at large have got to be a bit worried about America used to lead the world and be respected in the world by force as well as by just holding positions that were advantageous to America. But it looks like Trump is just a real liability to go out there into any context without a whole load of more sensible minders. And if he is firing everyone around him that actually does have intelligence and knowledge and replacing them with yes men, then America is at high risk of just looking more and more stupid with him at the helm, bluntly.
A lot of
Guys,
people
thank you so
not
much
to be
for watching
coming
this
out.
clip.
A
Let me
lot
know
of
what you
people
think about them
stop
in the
their work.
comment
A lot of
section.
people
Like,
stop going
a lot
to
of the MAGA
their
have been
work
saying that
because
they did not
they are
vote for
scared. They are
Elon
afraid of
Musk.
the
That
unknown
why is Elon
circumstances.
Musk the one
This was
making
the same reason
decision?
why they
Why
told
is
the
him
MAGAs
everywhere? Why is he in the
not
White
to
House?
vote.
Why is him attending the cabinet
But they
meeting?
failed to
Well,
listen.
guys,
They
let me
they
know
failed
what
to
are your thoughts
listen,
in the
and
comment
this is
section.
where
Don't
we
forget
are.
to like
This
the
is where
video
we
and
are.
subscribe in case you haven't
Because
subscribed. Thank you so much for watching,
since
and
a
see
lot
you
of
all in my
people
next
have
episode.
decided that
Bye.